First contact, the discovery. The night sky above New Mexico blazed with countless stars, a celestial tapestry that had captivated humanity for millennia. In a modest observatory on the outskirts of Albuquerque, Dr. Elena Reyes peered through her telescope, continuing her nightly ritual of scanning the cosmos. At 32, she was the youngest lead astronomer at the University of New Mexico, known for her unconventional theories and relentless pursuit of knowledge. As Elena adjusted the settings on her equipment, a faint, pulsating signal caught her attention. She frowned, double-checking her readings. The signal was unlike anything she'd encountered before, a repeating pattern that defied natural explanations. "What are you?" she whispered, her heart racing. With trembling hands, she began to record the data, cross-referencing it with known celestial phenomena. Nothing matched. As the night wore on, Elena's excitement grew. By dawn, she was certain this was no natural occurrence. The signal's complexity and regularity pointed to only one possibility: intelligent design. Elena hesitated before making the call. Discovery claims often led to ridicule in the scientific community, especially when they hinted at extraterrestrial life, but the evidence was too compelling to ignore. She dialed the number for Dr. Marcus Chen, her mentor and the head of SETI at Berkeley. "Marcus, it's Elena. I found something you need to see." Within hours, Elena's discovery was being scrutinized by top minds across the globe. The signal's origin was pinpointed to a star system 40 light-years away, close in cosmic terms. As news of the potential alien contact spread, the world held its breath. In Washington, D.C., President Samantha Hawkins received the briefing with a mixture of awe and apprehension. "And we're certain this isn't a hoax?" she asked, studying the faces of her advisors. "As certain as we can be, Madam President," replied General Michael Ortiz, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. "Every major observatory has confirmed Dr. Reyes' findings. The signal is real, and it's aimed directly at Earth." President Hawkins leaned back in her chair, the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. "What are our options?" Dr. Aisha Patel, the newly appointed head of NASA, stepped forward. "We've begun composing a response message, Madam President, but there's no guarantee they'll understand it, or that they're even still there. Remember, this signal has traveled 40 light-years to reach us." "And if they are still there?" the President asked. General Ortiz's expression hardened. "Then we need to be prepared for any scenario. I recommend we begin mobilizing our defenses quietly." President Hawkins nodded slowly. "Do it, but keep it low-key. The last thing we need is global panic." She turned to her communications director. "Sarah, prepare a statement. We need to inform the public, but let's emphasize the scientific significance. No speculation about invasions or doomsday scenarios." As the meeting adjourned, President Hawkins found herself alone in the Oval Office, staring out the window at the Washington Monument. The world was about to change forever, and the responsibility of guiding humanity through this momentous event fell squarely on her shoulders. Across the Atlantic, in a sleek laboratory in Geneva, Dr. Yuki Tanaka reviewed the signal data with growing excitement. As one of the world's leading experts in quantum computing, she saw patterns in the alien transmission that others had missed. "It's not just a hello," she murmured to herself. "It's an invitation." Yuki's fingers flew across her keyboard, applying advanced algorithms to decrypt the hidden layers of the message. As the pieces fell into place, her eyes widened. The aliens weren't just saying hello, they were sharing the blueprints for a device. A device that could revolutionize space travel. In Moscow, cosmonaut Alexei Volkov received the news of the alien signal with stoic calm. As a veteran of 3 long-duration missions to the International Space Station, he had often contemplated humanity's place in the universe. "So, we are not alone," he said to his wife over a secure video call. "Perhaps now we will finally unite as one species." His wife, Natasha, a biologist specializing in extreme environments, shared his optimism. "This could be the push we need to overcome our petty differences," she replied. But Alexei, be careful. They may call on you. Alexei nodded, understanding the implication. If Earth were to send ambassadors to meet these alien beings, he would likely be on the short list. As governments around the world grappled with the implications of the discovery, the public reaction ranged from euphoria to terror. Social media exploded with theories and speculation. Religious leaders convened emergency meetings to discuss the theological implications. And in the shadows, less savory elements saw opportunity in the chaos. In a nondescript office building in Shanghai, Lin Wei, a brilliant but disillusioned hacker, saw the alien signal as her ticket to something greater. With access to classified networks, she had pieced together more of the puzzle than most. The aliens were coming, and they were bringing technology beyond humanity's wildest dreams. This is our chance, she told a small team of cyber activists. While the world's distracted, we can level the playing field. No more secrets, no more lies. Her plan was audacious. Use the confusion surrounding the alien contact to expose the world's hidden truths. Government conspiracies, corporate crimes, the works. In her mind, humanity needed to clean house before welcoming cosmic visitors. Meanwhile, in the Australian outback, Aboriginal elder Uncle Jack stood under the vast canopy of stars, his weathered face contemplative. "The sky people are finally showing themselves," he said to the small group gathered around him. "Our ancestors spoke of this day." Among those listening was Dr. Tom Parker, a cultural anthropologist who had spent years studying indigenous astronomical traditions. "What do your stories say about them, Uncle Jack?" he asked, voice hushed with respect. The old man's eyes twinkled. "That they are both friend and foe, bringer of great change. The Dreamtime tells of a test, a challenge that will decide if we are worthy of the stars." As the group pondered these words, a streak of light blazed across the sky, a meteor, or perhaps something more. Back in New Mexico, Elena Reyes worked tirelessly, coordinating with scientists worldwide to decipher more of the alien message. Sleep deprivation and excitement warred within her as she pored over the data. "Elena, you need to rest." Marcus Chen's voice crackled over the video call. "You're no good to anyone if you burn out." She shook her head, eyes never leaving the screens before her. "I can't, Marcus. Don't you see? This is bigger than any of us. The answers we sought our entire lives are hidden in this signal. I can feel it." Marcus sighed, recognizing the fervor in his protege's voice. It was the same passion that had driven humanity's greatest discoveries, and also its greatest follies. "Just be careful, Elena. Not everyone will see this discovery as a good thing. Watch your back." As if to underscore his warning, Elena's computer chimed with a new email. The sender was anonymous, the message cryptic. "The truth lies not in the stars, but in the shadows on Earth. Dig deeper." Elena's brow furrowed as she contemplated the message. Was it a crank or something more sinister? She made a mental note to inform security, then turned back to her work. The mysteries of the cosmos beckoned, and she was determined to unravel them. In orbit above Earth, the International Space Station became a hub of frantic activity. Astronauts and cosmonauts worked around the clock, their differences in nationality forgotten in the face of humanity's greatest discovery. Commander Sarah Liu, a seasoned NASA astronaut, coordinated the station's efforts to gather additional data on the alien signal. As she floated in the cupola, Earth's blue marble rotating slowly beneath her, she felt a profound shift in perspective. "Houston ISS," she radioed down. "We've got some interesting readings up here. The signal's strength is fluctuating in a way that suggests movement. Whatever sent this message might be headed our way." The implications of her words sent shockwaves through mission control and beyond. If the aliens were indeed approaching, humanity's window for preparation had just shrunk dramatically. As the world grappled with the possibility of imminent alien contact, a small team of linguists, mathematicians, and computer scientists gathered in a secure facility beneath the plains of Nebraska. Their task, to craft a response to the alien message. Dr. Fatima Al-Rashid, a pioneering expert in xenolinguistics, led the team. "We need to convey not just our words, but our essence," she explained, her hands moving animatedly as she spoke. "Math is universal, yes, but to truly connect, we must share our stories, our art, our music." The team worked tirelessly, distilling the breadth of human experience into a coherent message. They drew on everything from ancient cave paintings to the latest in quantum theory, weaving a tapestry of human knowledge and creativity. As the sun rose on the seventh day since Elena's discovery, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. The question was no longer if we were alone in the universe, but how we would face the reality of cosmic company. In New York, the United Nations convened an emergency session. Representatives from every nation gathered to discuss humanity's next steps. The General Assembly hall buzzed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. UN Secretary-General Adebayo Okonkwo took the podium, his usually stoic demeanor replaced by barely contained awe. "Distinguished delegates, we stand at a moment unprecedented in human history. The discovery of intelligent life beyond Earth challenges us to look beyond our differences and recognize our common bond as children of this planet." As Okonkwo spoke, screens around the hall displayed a live feed from telescopes tracking an anomaly approaching the solar system. The alien ship, if that's what it was, would reach Earth within days. The Secretary-General's voice rose with emotion. "We must decide, here and now, how we will greet these visitors. Will we extend a hand in friendship, or raise our fists in fear? The choice we make today will echo through the ages." As the UN debated humanity's response, individuals around the world prepared in their own ways. Doomsday preppers stocked their bunkers, while others planned first contact parties. Scientists worked around the clock, religious leaders offered guidance to their flocks, and children gazed at the sky with newfound wonder. In her observatory, Elena Reyes watched the approaching anomaly with a mixture of scientific curiosity and human apprehension. Her discovery had changed everything, and the weight of that responsibility pressed heavily upon her. As the first part of our story draws to a close, humanity stands united in anticipation, poised on the brink of a new chapter in cosmic history. The aliens are coming, bringing with them the promise of answers to age-old questions and the threat of challenges beyond imagination. How will humanity rise to this moment? Only time will tell. The stage is set for a confrontation, or a conversation, that will shape the destiny of Earth and perhaps the galaxy itself. As the alien ship draws ever closer, one question burns in every human heart. Are we ready for what comes next? The arrival, tensions rise. The alien ship entered Earth's orbit with an eerie silence that belied its monumental significance. Its sleek, obsidian surface absorbed light rather than reflected it, making it appear as a ship-shaped void against the star-studded backdrop of space. In mission control at NASA's Johnson Space Center, a tense hush fell over the room as the ship came to a stop, positioning itself directly over the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Dr. Aisha Patel, her usual composure slipping, turned to her team. "All systems tracking." "Affirmative," came the chorus of responses. Screens flickered with data streams, each one monitoring every conceivable aspect of the alien vessel. "Any attempts at communication?" Aisha asked, her voice barely above a whisper. A young communications officer shook his head. "Nothing yet, ma'am. They're just sitting there." The silence stretched on, each passing second ratcheting up the global tension. In homes and public squares around the world, people gathered around screens, waiting for news, for any sign of what was to come. Aboard the International Space Station, Commander Sarah Liu and her crew had a front-row seat to history. "Houston ISS," she reported, her voice tight with barely contained excitement. "We have visual confirmation of the alien vessel. It's beautiful." As Sarah spoke, a bright light suddenly emanated from the alien ship, a beam stretching down to Earth. In an instant, the already frantic activity in the UN Plaza erupted into chaos. Inside the General Assembly Hall, delegates gasped as a holographic image flickered to life in the center of the room. The alien that appeared was both familiar and utterly foreign, humanoid in basic shape, but with iridescent skin that seemed to shift colors with each movement. Its large, multifaceted eyes scanned the room, and when it spoke, the words seemed to form directly in the minds of all present. "People of Earth," the alien began, its mental voice carrying a depth of emotion that transcended language barriers. "We are the Zarkoni. We come in peace, seeking alliance and exchange of knowledge." UN Secretary-General Okonkwo, recovering quickly from the shock, stepped forward. "On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth. We are honored by your presence and eager to learn from you." The alien's skin rippled in what might have been amusement. "Your curiosity is admirable, but caution would be wise. The universe is vast and not always kind. We have much to discuss." As the impromptu first contact unfolded on global broadcasts, reactions around the world varied wildly. In Tokyo, crowds erupted in cheers. In Rio de Janeiro, impromptu street parties broke out. But in other places, fear and suspicion took hold. In a bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Michael Ortiz watched the proceedings with growing unease. "Mr. President," he said into a secure line, "I strongly advise against allowing these aliens unrestricted access to our leaders. We know nothing about their true intentions." President Hawkins' voice crackled through the speaker, tense but resolute. "Noted, General, but we can't greet a peaceful overture with overt hostility. Maintain alert status, but no aggressive moves. Is that clear?" "Crystal, ma'am," Ortiz replied, his jaw clenching as he gave orders to his staff. Around the world, similar scenes played out as military forces went on high alert while maintaining a non-threatening posture. Back in New Mexico, Elena Reyes watched the events unfold with a mixture of awe and frustration. Her discovery had led to this moment, yet she found herself sidelined, away from the action. A knock at her door startled her. She opened it to find Dr. Marcus Chen, looking haggard but excited. "Pack a bag, Elena," he said without preamble. "We're being called to New York. They need our expertise." As Elena and Marcus rushed to catch their flight, the alien delegates were being escorted to a hastily prepared diplomatic suite within the UN building. The leader of the Zarkoni delegation, who introduced itself as Zoran, moved with a fluid grace that seemed to defy gravity. Dr. Fatima al-Rashid, leading the human linguistic team, found herself struggling to keep up with the complexity of the Zarkoni language. "It's not just words," she explained to her colleagues during a brief break. "Their entire mode of communication involves colors, pheromones, and possibly even mild telepathy. We're only scratching the surface." As the initial meetings progressed, it became clear that the Zarkoni's reasons for contacting Earth were more complex than simple curiosity or goodwill. Joran spoke of a galactic community, of alliances and conflicts on a scale humans had never imagined. "Your world stands at a crossroads," Joran explained to the assembled human leaders. "You have progressed far enough to attract notice, but you remain vulnerable. There are those in the galaxy who would see your potential as a threat to be eliminated, rather than an asset to be cultivated." The implications of this statement sent shockwaves through the diplomatic corps. Humanity was not just making first contact, it was being invited onto a cosmic stage it barely understood, with dangers lurking in the shadows. As translations of these revelations spread across the globe, public opinion began to shift. The initial excitement of alien contact was tempered by the realization of just how small and potentially fragile humanity's position in the universe might be. In her lab in Geneva, Dr. Yuki Tanaka worked feverishly to decipher the quantum computing blueprints hidden within the original alien signal. With each breakthrough, her excitement grew, tempered by a nagging worry about the implications of such advanced technology. "This isn't just a new computer," she murmured to her assistant. "If I'm reading this correctly, it's It's a key to manipulating the fabric of space-time itself. Meanwhile, in the Australian outback, Uncle Jack's words about a cosmic test seemed increasingly prophetic. Dr. Tom Parker found himself fielding calls from government officials and scientists alike, all seeking insight into indigenous celestial lore that might shed light on the current situation. Our stories speak of sky people who judge worthiness. Uncle Jack told a gathered crowd, his voice carrying across the red desert sands. But the judgment is not of our technology or our power. It is of our hearts, our spirits. Are we wise enough to wield the fire of the stars? As the first day of alien contact drew to a close, humanity grappled with a cascade of new information and possibilities. The Zarkoni spoke of faster-than-light travel, of energy sources that could end scarcity, of medical advances that could triple the human lifespan. But with each tantalizing offer came a warning. Such gifts came with responsibility and potentially with a price. In orbit, the ISS crew continued their observations, noting subtle changes in the alien ship's energy emissions. Commander Sarah Liu couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something crucial. "Houston," she radioed down, "request permission to attempt closer approach to the alien vessel. There's something about its hull structure that doesn't add up." After a tense debate, permission was granted. As the station adjusted its orbit, Sarah and her team prepared for a spacewalk that would bring them within a few hundred meters of the Zarkoni ship. On the ground, Elena Reyes and Marcus Chen arrived in New York, immediately swept into high-level briefings. Elena found herself face-to-face with Joran, the alien's multifaceted eyes seeming to peer into her very soul. "You are the one who heard our call," Joran said, its mental voice tinged with what Elena interpreted as respect. "Your insight will be crucial in the days to come." Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the building. General Ortiz's voice came over the emergency system. "Unidentified objects entering atmosphere at high velocity. All personnel to secure locations immediately." As chaos erupted in the UN, the Zarkoni remained unnaturally calm. Joran turned to the panicking human leaders, its skin pulsing with deep reds and purples. "It would seem," the alien said, "but the test begins sooner than anticipated." Outside, the sky lit up with streaks of fire as the unknown objects breached the atmosphere. In cities around the world, people pointed and shouted as what appeared to be smaller alien craft descended rapidly. In her lab in Shanghai, Lin Wei watched the unfolding events with a mix of excitement and determination. "It's time," she told her team, initiating a sophisticated cyber attack aimed at the world's most secure networks. In the chaos of the alien arrival, firewalls fell, and closely guarded secrets began to leak onto the internet. As governments scrambled to respond to both the new alien arrivals and the sudden breach of classified information, the ISS crew completed their approach to the Zarkoni mothership. Commander Sarah Liu, tethered to the station but floating just meters from the alien hull, made a startling discovery. "Houston, are you seeing this?" she asked, her voice filled with wonder. "The hull. It's not solid. It's some kind of energy field. And inside, my God, it's like looking at the inside of a small planet." Her words were cut short as a pulse of energy emanated from the ship, temporarily disrupting communications. When the link was re-established, Sarah's voice was urgent. "Houston, the ship is changing configuration. I think it's about to do something big." On the ground, as panic began to spread, Uncle Jack's voice cut through the fear on a hastily arranged global broadcast. "Remember," he said, his weathered face filling screens worldwide, "this is not just their test of us. It is our test of ourselves. How we face this challenge will determine our path among the stars." His words seemed to resonate across cultures and languages, a reminder of humanity's resilience and potential. In New York, Elena Reyes found herself ushered into an emergency meeting with world leaders and the Zarkoni delegates. President Hawkins, her face etched with the weight of the moment, addressed the room. "We need answers, and we need them now. What are these new arrivals? Are they with you? Are we under attack?" Zhouran's skin rippled with complex patterns before settling into a deep, somber blue. They are the Vreknor, an aggressive species that sees emerging civilizations as either resources to be exploited or threats to be eliminated. We had hoped to prepare you gradually, but it seems events have forced our hand. The alien's next words fell like hammer blows. Humanity now faces a choice. Stand with us against the Vreknor, proving your worth as galactic citizens, or face them alone. But know this, victory or defeat in the coming conflict will determine not just your fate, but the balance of power in this sector of the galaxy. As Zhouran spoke, reports flooded in from around the globe. The smaller alien craft, now identified as Vreknor scouts, were landing in major cities. Attempts at communication had failed, and the first shots of what could become an interplanetary war had been fired. In orbit, the ISF crew watched in horror as Vreknor ships engaged in battle with Earth's satellite network, methodically destroying communication and defense systems. Commander Sarah Liu, still on her spacewalk, found herself in the uniquely terrifying position of watching the opening salvos of an alien invasion from above. "Houston," she radioed, her voice steady despite the circumstances, "we have a front-row seat to history up here. What are our orders?" The response, when it came, was not what anyone expected. It was Elena Reyes' voice that crackled through the comm system. "Commander Liu, this is Dr. Reyes. We need you to attempt direct communication with the Zarkoni ship. The fate of Earth may depend on it." As Sarah began her approach to the alien mothership, humanity stood on the brink of either its greatest triumph or its final hour. The Zarkoni watched and waited, their true motives still shrouded in mystery. And in the streets of Earth's cities, the first battles against the Vreknor invaders began to unfold. The universe had brought its test to humanity's doorstep. Now, in fire and chaos, in courage and desperation, the people of Earth would show the cosmos what they were truly made of. As the second part of our story concludes, the stage is set for a conflict that will determine the future of not just humanity, but of galactic politics itself. With allies of uncertain intention, enemies of unknown strength, and technology beyond their comprehension, the people of Earth face their greatest challenge. Will they rise to meet it or fall into the dustbin of cosmic history? Hidden agendas, the cosmic threat. As the Vreknor invasion force descended upon Earth's major cities, humanity found itself thrust into a war it barely understood. The skies crackled with energy weapons far beyond human technology, while on the ground, soldiers and civilians alike faced off against biomechanical monstrosities that seemed to shrug off conventional firearms. In the heart of New York, now a battleground, Elena Reyes sprinted through debris-strewn streets, her lab coat flapping behind her like a cape. Alongside her ran Dr. Marcus Chen and a small team of scientists, each clutching precious data drives and prototype devices. "We need to get to the safe zone," Marcus shouted over the cacophony of battle. "The Zarkoni said they'd provide us cover." As if on cue, a shimmering energy field sprang to life around them, deflecting a barrage of Vreknor plasma bolts. Elena marveled at the technology even as she ran for her life. "Marcus," she panted, "something doesn't add up. Why didn't the Zarkoni warn us earlier? Why aren't they engaging the Vreknor directly?" Before Marcus could respond, a massive explosion rocked the ground, sending them sprawling. Through the smoke, a towering Vreknor war machine emerged, its insectoid legs crushing cars beneath it. Just as all seemed lost, a streak of light cut through the air. A sleek, silver craft, unmistakably of human design, swooped low, unleashing a barrage of energy weapons that tore through the Vreknor machine's armor. "Is that one of ours?" Elena gasped, watching the craft bank impossibly tight and come around for another pass. A familiar voice crackled through a nearby fallen comm unit. "This is Colonel Alexei Volkov. All civilians, proceed to designated safe zones. We'll buy you time." As Elena and her team resumed their dash to safety, questions swirled in her mind. How had humanity developed such advanced technology so quickly? And why did it seem that some were more prepared for this invasion than others? High above the Earth, Commander Sarah Liu faced a challenge of her own. Following Elena's unexpected orders, she had maneuvered as close to the Zarkoni mothership as she dared. "This is Commander Liu of the International Space Station," she broadcast, hoping the aliens could understand. "We seek direct communication." For a heart-stopping moment, there was no response. Then, without warning, a beam of light engulfed Sarah. She felt a momentary panic before realizing she was being drawn into the ship. As Sarah floated into a vast, organic-looking chamber within the Zarkoni vessel, she came face to face with a being she instinctively knew was not Joran. This Zarkoni's skin pulsed with deep, somber colors. "Commander," the alien's thoughts resonated in Sarah's mind. "I am Karen, true leader of this expedition. What I must tell you will change everything you think you know about this conflict." Meanwhile, in the Australian outback, Uncle Jack stood atop a red rock formation, his eyes closed in deep concentration. Dr. Tom Parker watched in awe as the old man began to chant in a language that sounded ancient yet oddly familiar. "Tom," Uncle Jack said, opening his eyes, "the Dreamtime speaks of this moment. The Sky People are not what they seem. The true test is not of our strength, but of our wisdom." Before Tom could ask for clarification, the ground beneath them began to tremble. In the distance, a massive shake began to rise from the desert floor, a structure that had lain hidden for millennia, now awakening at humanity's darkest hour. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. In the jungles of South America, ancient temples hummed with long-dormant energy. Beneath the ice of Antarctica, a buried city stirred to life. And in the depths of the Mariana Trench, lights flickered on in a submerged complex of clearly non-human origin. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, monitoring global seismic activity from her lab in Geneva, stared at her screens in disbelief. "This is impossible," she muttered, watching as energy signatures unlike anything she'd ever seen began to crisscross the planet. A priority alert flashed on her screen, a message from Elena Reyes. "Yuki," it read, "the quantum blueprints, they're not just technology. They're a key to something buried on Earth, something the Zarkoni want badly." As Yuki processed this revelation, her lab door burst open. Lin Wei strode in, flanked by a team of hackers. "Dr. Tanaka," Lin said, her eyes blazing with purpose, "we need your help to save humanity." Before Yuki could respond, her screens flickered, showing a global broadcast. President Hawkins stood at a podium, her face grim but determined. "My fellow citizens of Earth," she began, "the moment has come for humanity to stand united. We face a threat beyond imagination, but we do not face it alone." The camera panned to show Joran and a group of Zarkoni standing alongside human military leaders. "Our allies have provided us with technology to combat the Vreknor threat," Hawkins continued. "But victory will require sacrifice and courage from every one of us." As the president spoke, battles raged in cities around the world. In Moscow's Red Square, cosmonaut Alexei Volkov led a squadron of retrofitted fighter jets against Vreknor air forces. The human craft, enhanced with Zarkoni technology, held their own against the alien invaders, but the cost in lives and infrastructure was devastating. In Rio de Janeiro, a group of civilians, led by a quick-thinking favela leader, managed to bring down a Vreknor walker using nothing but ingenuity and improvised weapons. Their victory inspired resistance cells worldwide, proving that humanity's resourcefulness could be a match for alien technology. But not all of Earth's defenders were on the front lines. In his mountain bunker, General Michael Ortiz coordinated a global counter-offensive, his screens showing battles unfolding on every continent. A junior officer approached, his face pale. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy surges from those unearthed structures. They're powering up." Ortiz's eyes narrowed. "Get me the president, now." As chaos reigned on the surface, Commander Sarah Liu absorbed the shocking truth from Karen aboard the Zarkoni mothership. "You must understand, Karen's thoughts resonated. The Vreknor are not our enemies. They're our creations, our test for emerging species. Sarah's mind reeled. A test? You're saying this invasion is fake? Karen's skin rippled with complex emotions. Not fake, but controlled. The Vreknor will cause damage, take lives, but they will not annihilate. We needed to see how your species would react under extreme pressure, but there is more at stake than you know. As Karen explained, Sarah's horror grew. The Zarkoni were not saviors, but galactic gardeners, pruning and cultivating species they deemed worthy. Earth, it turned out, was special, a seed bank of sorts, where the Zarkoni had hidden technologies and knowledge from a long-lost civilization, one that had nearly destroyed them aeons ago. Your planet is a vault, Corin continued, and your species are the unwitting guardians. The structures now awakening across your world are fail-safes we installed, but we are not the only ones who know of Earth's importance. Back on the surface, Elena Reyes and her team finally reached the UN safe zone, only to find it in chaos. Joran stood in the center of the room, its skin pulsing with urgent patterns. The hidden sites are activating, it announced. We must secure them immediately. Elena pushed her way forward. Secure them? You mean take control of them? What aren't you telling us? Before Joran could respond, a holographic image flickered to life. Sarah Liu, broadcasting from the Zarkoni mothership. This is Commander Liu. Her voice rang out, tight with urgency. The invasion is a test, but the real threat is yet to come. The Zarkoni. Her transmission cut off abruptly. Joran's colors darkened. We don't have time for this. Earth's safety and the galaxy's future are at stake. You must trust us. But trust was in short supply. As word of Sarah's partial message spread, combined with the strange activations around the globe, humanity's united front began to fracture. Some advocated for continued cooperation with the Zarkoni, while others called for immediate resistance against all alien forces. In the Australian outback, the massive structure that had risen from the desert sands now pulsed with ethereal light. Uncle Jack, standing at its base, turned to Dr. Tom Parker. The dream time and the stars are one, he said cryptically. It's time for the true history to be known. Placing his hand on the structure's surface, Uncle Jack began to chant. To Tom's amazement, the old man's words seemed to resonate with the alien technology. Symbols and images flared to life on the structure's surface, telling a story that rewrote everything humanity thought it knew about its origins and place in the cosmos. Similar scenes unfolded at sites around the world. In Antarctica, a team of international scientists, led by Dr. Fatima al-Rashid, deciphered glyphs that spoke of Earth as a cosmic battleground, a planet of unique importance in a galaxy-spanning conflict. As these revelations spread, the Vreknor attacks intensified. It was as if the invaders sensed that their true purpose had been discovered and were now fighting with genuine desperation. In Geneva, Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Lin Wei raced against time, combining their knowledge of quantum computing and cyber warfare to interface with the awakening alien structures. If we can access the mainframe, Lin explained, her fingers flying over holographic keyboards, we might be able to take control before either the Zarkoni or the Vreknor can claim them. Yuki nodded grimly, her scientific curiosity warring with her fear of the unknown. Let's just hope we don't accidentally activate some doomsday device in the process. As the two women worked, alerts flashed across their screens. The Vreknor had breached Geneva's defenses. The sound of battle drew ever closer to their lab. High above the Earth, Sarah Liu made a desperate decision, using skills she didn't know she possessed. Perhaps unlocked by her contact with Karen, she interfaced directly with the Zarkoni ship's systems. In a burst of data, she broadcast the full truth to every connected device on the planet. The reaction was immediate and planet-wide. Humanity, reeling from the revelation that they were pawns in a cosmic game, faced a choice: continue fighting a manufactured war or unite against the true threat, whoever or whatever that might be. In New York, Elena Reyes confronted Joran directly. "You used us," she accused, her voice shaking with anger and betrayal. "You endangered our entire species for your own agenda." Joran's colors swirled with what might have been regret. It was necessary. What lies hidden on your world could shift the balance of power across the galaxy. We had to know if you were worthy guardians. Before Elena could respond, the ground shook violently. Outside, a massive form began to rise from beneath the East River, another hidden structure, dwarfing even the tallest skyscrapers. Around the world, humanity watched in awe and fear as similar megastructures emerged from land and sea. The Vrecnor forces, their true nature now revealed, seemed to lose cohesion, many units simply shutting down or retreating. But if the Zarkoni thought this meant victory, they were sorely mistaken. As the last of Earth's hidden treasures revealed themselves, a new signal reached the planet, vast and incomprehensibly alien. In the White House Situation Room, surrounded by advisors and allies both human and Zarkoni, President Hawkins received the translation of this new message. Her face paled as she read it aloud. "Attention, gardeners and seedlings. Your quarantine has ended. The true test begins now." As Part 3 concludes, Earth finds itself at the center of a cosmic drama far greater than a mere invasion. The Zarkoni's hidden agenda has been revealed, but it pales in comparison to the new threat looming on the horizon. Humanity, armed with newfound knowledge of its true heritage and the awakened power of ancient technologies, must now face an unknown force that sees both them and the Zarkoni as mere players in a greater game. The stage is set for a confrontation that will determine not just the fate of Earth, but the future of the galaxy itself. As alien megastructures rise and long-buried truths come to light, humanity stands on the brink of its greatest challenge and its greatest opportunity. Will they rise to the occasion or falter in the face of cosmic forces beyond their comprehension? Battle for Earth, humanity's stand. The message echoed across the planet, its implications sending shockwaves through both human and Zarkoni ranks. Quarantine ended, true test. These phrases hung in the air, pregnant with menace and possibility. In the White House Situation Room, President Hawkins turned to face the assembled leaders, both human and alien. Her voice was steel as she addressed them. "It seems we've all been played. Now we have a choice to make. Do we stand together against this new threat, or do we let our differences tear us apart?" Joran, its skin a turbulent mix of colors, stepped forward. "Madam President, on behalf of the Zarkoni, I offer our full cooperation and resources. I have made grievous errors in judgment, but the threat we now face eclipses our past conflicts." As discussions raged in seats of power across the globe, the people of Earth took matters into their own hands. The revelation of humanity's true heritage, as guardians of ancient, powerful knowledge, sparked a global awakening. In the Australian outback, Uncle Jack stood before a crowd of thousands, people from all walks of life who had flocked to the alien structure. "For generations, our stories spoke of this day," he intoned, his voice carrying impossible distances. "We are not just children of the Earth, but of the stars themselves. It's time we remembered how to shine." As he spoke, the massive structure behind him pulsed with energy. Tendrils of light spread out, touching each person present. Those touched felt a surge of knowledge, of connection to something vast and ancient. Similar scenes played out at sites around the world. In Antarctica, Dr. Fatima al-Rashid led a team in deciphering the alien language at a pace that defied conventional understanding. "It's as if the knowledge was always there," she marveled, "just waiting to be unlocked." In orbit, Commander Sarah Liu found herself in a unique position. The Zarkoni ship, responding to her earlier interface, now recognized her as a legitimate user. With this unprecedented access, she began coordinating Earth's fledgling space defenses. "This is Commander Liu to all Earth forces," she broadcast. "I'm sending tactical data on Zarkoni defense systems. Integrate this with our own technologies. We need a unified front up here." On the ground, the integration of human ingenuity with awakened alien tech led to astonishing breakthroughs. In his mountain bunker, General Ortiz watched in awe as reports flooded in from around the world. "Sir," a young lieutenant reported, excitement breaking through her professional demeanor, "the civilians, they're fighting back. And winning." Screens showed footage from cities worldwide. In Tokyo, a group of gamers had reprogrammed abandoned Vrecnor units, turning the alien war machines against their former masters. In Rio, favored dwellers used newly acquired knowledge to construct energy shields, protecting entire neighborhoods from orbital bombardment. But it was in Geneva that perhaps the most crucial battle was taking place. Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Lin Wei, their lab now a makeshift command center, worked feverishly to unlock the secrets of the quantum computing blueprints. "If we can fully activate this," Yuki explained to the team of international scientists and hackers gathered around her, "we might be able to predict the new threats' moves before they make them." Lin nodded, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. "And if we combine it with the data I've acquired from government servers worldwide, we could coordinate a global defense network unlike anything in human history." As they worked, the first wave of the new threat arrived. Massive ships, dwarfing even the Zarkoni vessel, appeared at the edges of the solar system. Unlike the Vrecnor or Zarkoni craft, these ships seemed to phase in and out of reality, defying the laws of physics as humanity understood them. In New York, Elena Reyes found herself thrust into a leadership role she never expected. With her unique understanding of both the initial alien signal and the newly awakened Earth technologies, she became a crucial liaison between human leaders, Zarkoni allies, and the awakened sites. The structures, she explained to a joint session of the UN, her voice steady despite the enormity of the situation, they're not just repositories of knowledge. They're a defense network built by an ancient civilization that faced a threat similar to what's coming for us now. As Elena spoke, holographic displays showed the approaching enemy fleet. "We don't have much time," she continued. "But if we can fully activate this network, we stand a chance not just of defending Earth, but of understanding our place in the galaxy." Her words galvanized the assembly. Nations that had been at each other's throats days earlier now pledged full cooperation. Resources were pooled, armies united, and a global strategy began to take shape. In orbit, the first skirmishes with the new threat began. The enemy ships, which came to be known as the Void Hunters, unleashed weapons that seemed to warp the fabric of space-time itself. Earth's fledgling space fleet, a hodgepodge of human ingenuity and Zarkoni technology, took heavy losses in those initial encounters. Commander Sarah Liu, coordinating the defense from the Zarkoni mothership, gritted her teeth as she watched human and Zarkoni pilots sacrifice themselves to buy time. "We need more power," she muttered, her mind racing for solutions. As if in answer to her unspoken plea, a surge of energy erupted from Earth's surface. The awakened structures, responding to humanity's desperate need, launched tendrils of pure energy into space. These beams connected with the defending ships, enhancing their shields and weapons to unprecedented levels. On the Void Hunter command ship, a being of swirling darkness observed the unfolding battle with cold calculation. Interesting, it communicated to its subordinates. "The seedlings show more promise than anticipated. Increase the pressure. Let us see what they're truly capable of." Back on Earth, the tide of battle began to turn. As more and more humans connected with the awakened technologies, a global consciousness began to emerge. It wasn't mind control or a hive mind, but rather a deep, intuitive understanding of each other and the world around them. In the streets of London, a group of schoolchildren instinctively formed a human chain, channeling energy from a nearby structure to power a fallen Zarkoni defense turret. In the mountains of Peru, farmers used newly acquired knowledge to redirect ley lines, creating electromagnetic pulses that short-circuited Void Hunter ground troops. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, her eyes gleaming with the reflected light of quantum calculations, turned to Lin Wei. "We've done it," she said, her voice filled with awe. "The predictive model is online. We can see their strategies before they implement them." Lynn nodded, her usual cool demeanor cracking to show a fierce grin. "Then let's take the fight to them. It's time humanity showed the cosmos what we're made of." As the quantum network came online, the tide of battle shifted dramatically. Human and Zarkoni forces, guided by near-prescient strategic insights, began to push back the Void Hunter advance. In New York, Elena Reyes stood with President Hawkins and Joran, watching the global battle unfold on holographic displays. "We're holding our own," Hawkins marveled, "but we can't keep this up forever. We need a decisive strike." Joran's skin rippled with agreement. "There is a way," the alien communicated, "but it will require a level of cooperation unprecedented in galactic history." Elena felt a chill run down her spine as Zoran outlined the plan. It was audacious, dangerous, and might very well cost millions of lives. But if it worked, "Do it," President Hawkins ordered, her voice heavy with the weight of command. "May whatever gods exist have mercy on our souls." The plan was set in motion. Around the world, the awakened structures began to pulse with blinding energy. In orbit, Commander Sarah Liu received the coded signal and began coordinating the space fleet into a precise formation. On the ground, Uncle Jack led a global meditation, connecting millions of minds to the ancient network. Dr. Fatima al-Rashid's linguistic breakthroughs allowed for instantaneous, perfect communication between all allied forces. And in Geneva, Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Lin Wei's quantum network predicted and countered every Void Hunter move. As the energy built to unimaginable levels, the Void Hunters sensed the coming attack. They launched a desperate, all-out assault on Earth's major population centers, hoping to break the humans' resolve. New York was hit hard. Elena Reyes, working from a makeshift bunker beneath the UN, felt the impacts shake the very foundations of the city. "Hold the line," she shouted into the global comm network. "We only need a few more minutes." In Rio de Janeiro, cosmonaut Alexei Volkov led a daring raid on a grounded Void Hunter ship. "For Earth," he cried as he and his team breached the alien vessel's hull, fighting through reality-walking defenses to reach its core. Around the world, similar acts of heroism played out. Humanity, standing shoulder to shoulder with their Zarkoni allies, gave everything they had to buy the precious seconds needed for the plan to work. In orbit, Commander Sarah Liu watched as the energy buildup reached critical levels. "All ships, final positions," she ordered, her voice steady despite the maelstrom of battle around her. "Prepare for dimensional shift on my mark." The Void Hunters, sensing the coming attack, consolidated their forces for one final push. Their command ship, a massive construct of darkness and impossible geometries, moved into position to strike at Earth's heart. At that moment, Uncle Jack opened his eyes, his consciousness connected to millions around the globe. "Now," he said, his voice echoing across the planet and into space itself. Commander Liu gave the order, "Mark." In an instant, the impossible happened. The energy from Earth's awakened structures, channeled through the human Zarkoni fleet, tore a hole in the fabric of spacetime. But instead of weaponizing this rupture, the Allied forces did something the Void Hunters never expected. They moved the Earth. The entire planet, along with its moon, shifted dimensionally, facing out of normal space in a maneuver that defied all known laws of physics. The Void Hunter fleet, caught off guard by this unprecedented tactic, found themselves firing at empty space. For a breathless moment, Earth existed between dimensions, its population held in a state of quantum uncertainty. Then, with a flash that outshone suns, the planet reappeared, directly in the midst of the Void Hunter fleet. The resulting collision of energies, technologies, and realities was cataclysmic. Void Hunter ships, caught in Earth's dimensional wake, were torn apart or phased out of existence. The command ship, target of this audacious plan, found itself enveloped by the full might of Earth's awakened defenses. On its bridge, The dark entity that led the Void Hunters experienced an emotion it thought long forgotten, awe. Well played, seedlings, it communicated as its ship began to break apart. You have earned your place among the stars. As the light of battle faded, Earth found itself in a new region of space, the Void Hunter threat neutralized. But the victory had come at a great cost. Millions had died in the conflict, and the planet bore deep scars from the fighting. In New York, Elena Reyes emerged from the bunker to see a sky filled with unfamiliar stars. Joran stood beside her, its skin a kaleidoscope of emotions. "What now?" Elena asked, her voice hoarse from shouting orders. The Zarkoni turned to her, its multifaceted eyes reflecting the new constellations above. Now it said, "You take your place in the galactic community. As equals, as teachers, and as the guardians you were always meant to be." As the sun rose on this new chapter of human history, the people of Earth began to rebuild. But they did so with newfound knowledge, unbreakable unity, and the certainty that they were no longer alone in the cosmos. The battle was over, but humanity's journey among the stars had only just begun. As Part 4 concludes, Earth stands victorious but forever changed. The activation of ancient technologies and the forging of cosmic alliances have propelled humanity into a new era. With the Void Hunter threat defeated, Earth must now navigate its place in a complex galactic political landscape. The knowledge and power gained come with great responsibility, and the choices made in the coming days will shape not just humanity's future, but that of countless civilizations across the stars. What challenges and wonders await Earth in this new cosmic age? The next chapter of humanity's grand adventure is about to unfold. A new era, humanity's place in the cosmos. The dawn of a new day brought with it the realization that Earth now orbited an unfamiliar sun. Astronomers worked tirelessly to map their new celestial neighborhood, while politicians and leaders grappled with the monumental task of guiding humanity through this unprecedented transition. In the weeks following the dimensional jump, a sense of both wonder and trepidation swept across the globe. The scars of battle were still fresh, but so too was the exhilaration of victory and the promise of a new beginning. Elena Reyes stood at the podium in the United Nations General Assembly, now a hybrid council of human and alien representatives. The room buzzed with a mixture of languages and telepathic communications as she prepared to address the gathered delegates. "Fellow citizens of Earth, honored allies," she began, her voice carrying the weight of recent events. "We stand at a crossroads unlike any our species has faced before. The power we've unlocked, the knowledge we've gained, it comes with tremendous responsibility." As Elena spoke, holographic displays showed the ongoing work around the world. In Australia, Uncle Jack led a team in fully awakening the ancient structure, its systems now interfacing seamlessly with modern technology. In Antarctica, Dr. Fatima al-Rashid's linguistic breakthroughs had opened up archives of knowledge spanning millions of years of galactic history. "We have been thrust onto the cosmic stage," Elena continued, "not just as newcomers, but as inheritors of a legacy we're only beginning to understand. The question before us now is, what will we do with this inheritance?" The assembly murmured, a mix of excitement and apprehension palpable in the air. Joran, now serving as the official Zarkoni ambassador to Earth, stepped forward to stand beside Elena. "The Zarkoni Confederation extends its formal apology for the deception involved in our first contact," the alien communicated, its skin a somber blue. "We also extend an invitation. Earth's unique position, both technologically and spatially, makes it an ideal candidate for membership in the Galactic Council." The announcement sent shockwaves through the assembly. Membership in the Galactic Council was both an honor and a burden, requiring a level of cosmic responsibility that, just weeks ago, would have seemed impossible for humanity to bear. As debates raged in the UN and in governments around the world, the practical realities of Earth's new situation began to set in. Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Lin Wei, now heading a global initiative for technological integration, faced the monumental task of merging human, Zarkoni, and ancient Earth technologies into cohesive systems. The potential is staggering, Yuki explained to a group of international scientists. We're not just talking about advances in computing or energy production. We're looking at the possibility of rewriting the very laws of physics as we understand them. Lynn nodded, her eyes gleaming with the possibilities. But we need to be cautious. One wrong move, and we could tear a hole in the fabric of space-time. Again. Their warning was well-founded. Around the world, there were already reports of accidents as people experimented with newly awakened abilities. In Brazil, a teenager accidentally phased an entire city block out of sync with the rest of reality. In Japan, a well-meaning scientist nearly created a miniature black hole while attempting to develop a new energy source. To address these challenges, a new global organization was formed, the Cosmic Integration and Responsibility Department, CIRT. Led by Elena Reyes, CIRT was tasked with overseeing the responsible development and use of Earth's new technologies, as well as coordinating with off-world allies. In orbit, the situation was equally complex. Commander Sarah Liu, now Admiral of Earth's fledgling space fleet, worked tirelessly to integrate human and alien spacecraft into a cohesive defense force. The threat of the Void Hunters might have been neutralized, but the galaxy, they were learning, held many other dangers. We need to be prepared for anything, Sarah briefed her officers, a mix of human and Zarkoni personnel. Our victory against the Void Hunters has put us on the galactic map. Not everyone out there will be friendly. As if to underscore her point, long-range sensors detected an approaching fleet of unknown origin. Tension gripped the newly formed Earth Defense Command as they prepared for potential conflict. But as the ships drew closer, they broadcast a message of peace. People of Earth, the transmission began, we are the Nexus Concordat, a coalition of free worlds. We have come to welcome you to your new stellar neighborhood and to offer our friendship. The arrival of the Nexus Concordat opened up new avenues of diplomacy and cultural exchange. Earth found itself hosting delegates from dozens of alien civilizations, each curious about the species that had managed to defeat the dreaded Void Hunters. In New York, now a shining example of human-alien cooperative architecture, a young journalist named Maya Chen scored an exclusive interview with a Nexus Concordat diplomat. The being, a crystalline entity that communicated through light pulses, offered insights into the complex political landscape Earth was entering. Your world stands at a unique juncture, the diplomat explained, its body shimmering with each word. You possess the technological capability of an elder race, yet retain the adaptability and innovative spirit of a young species. This combination makes you both valuable allies and potential threats in the eyes of many. Maya leaned forward, her eyes wide. Are you saying we're in danger? The diplomat's crystalline form pulsed thoughtfully. The galaxy is always in flux, young one. But take heart, you've already proven yourselves capable of facing cosmic-level threats. The key will be in how you choose to wield your newfound power and knowledge. As Maya's interview made headlines around the world, humanity grappled with its new reality. The awakened structures continued to yield their secrets, offering solutions to age-old problems like clean energy, food scarcity, and even death itself. But each breakthrough brought with it new ethical dilemmas. In Geneva, now home to the largest quantum computing facility in the known galaxy, Dr. Yuki Tanaka made a startling discovery. We've cracked it, she announced to a stunned room of scientists and government officials. Faster than light travel, not just by bending space, but by stepping outside of it entirely. The implications were staggering. With FTL capabilities, humanity could explore the far reaches of the universe, establish colonies on distant worlds, and truly take its place among the stars. But it also meant that Earth was now accessible to any civilization with similar technology. As the debate over whether to implement the FTL drive raged, another crisis loomed. The dimensional jump had not just moved Earth spatially, it had also caused temporal distortions. Reports began to surface of people experiencing visions of possible futures or reliving moments from the past. Uncle Jack, his connection to the ancient technologies deeper than anyone else's, became a focal point for these temporal anomalies. The dream time and real time are blurring, he explained to a concerned council of world leaders. We must learn to navigate not just space, but time itself. To address this new challenge, CIRD established the Temporal Integrity Commission, tasked with monitoring and maintaining the stability of Earth's time stream. Dr. Fatima al-Rashid, her linguistic skills now expanded to include the language of time itself, took charge of this crucial initiative. As humanity expanded its cosmic understanding, it also faced the need to redefine itself. Old national boundaries began to seem arbitrary in the face of galactic politics. A movement for a unified Earth government gained traction, championed by those who argued that humanity needed to present a united front to the cosmos. However, not everyone embraced these rapid changes. A resistance movement, calling themselves the Earth First Coalition, began to gain followers. They argued for a more cautious approach to cosmic integration, fearing the loss of human culture and independence. Tensions came to a head when an Earth First extremist attempted to sabotage the main ancient structure in Australia. The attack was thwarted, but it highlighted the deep divisions that still existed within human society. Addressing a global audience in the aftermath of the attack, President Hawkins called for unity and understanding. Change is never easy, she acknowledged, but we cannot turn back the clock. We must move forward, not as Americans or Chinese or Nigerians, but as Earthlings, as part of a greater galactic community. Her words seemed to resonate, and gradually, a new sense of global identity began to emerge. It was a delicate balance, maintaining human cultural diversity while embracing a broader cosmic perspective. As Earth approached the first anniversary of the Void Hunter battle, preparations were underway for a monumental event. The planet had been invited to send a delegation to the Galactic Council, where they would formally present their case for membership. The chosen delegation was a reflection of Earth's new reality, Elena Reyes, representing CIRT, and humanity's awakened potential, Admiral Sarah Liu, symbolizing Earth's commitment to cosmic security, Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Lin Wei, showcasing human scientific advancement, and Uncle Jack, embodying the connection between Earth's ancient past and its cosmic future. Joran would accompany them as an advisor and ally. As the delegation prepared to depart in Earth's first official FTL-capable ship, named Odyssey, a sense of anticipation gripped the planet. This journey would determine humanity's place in the cosmic order for generations to come. The launch was watched by billions around the world and countless alien allies. As Odyssey broke free from Earth's gravity, Elena Reyes looked back at the blue marble that was their home, now surrounded by a shimmering energy field, a combination of ancient defenses and new technologies. No matter what happens, she said to her fellow delegates, we've already achieved the impossible. We've united not just as a species, but with cosmic allies. We faced our trials and emerged stronger. Admiral Liu nodded, her eyes fixed on the starfield ahead. But our greatest challenges and adventures are still to come. The galaxy is vast, full of wonders and dangers we've yet to imagine. As Odyssey prepared for its first FTL jump, Uncle Jack closed his eyes, sensing the currents of space and time around them. The dream time stretches before us, he said softly. A canvas of infinite possibilities. Dr. Tanaka and Lin exchanged excited glances as they monitored the ship's systems. This was the culmination of their work, the bridge between human ingenuity and cosmic technology. Ready when you are, Yuki confirmed. With a final look at her team, Elena gave the command. Take us to light speed. In a flash of impossible colors, Odyssey vanished from Earth's solar system, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of an entire planet. As it streaked across the cosmos, humanity's next great adventure was just beginning. Back on Earth, people from all walks of life looked up at the night sky with new eyes. The stars were no longer distant, unreachable points of light. They were beacons, calling humanity to explore, to learn, to grow. The road ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, conflicts, and hard choices to make. But Earth had proven its resilience, its adaptability, and its capacity for unity in the face of cosmic threats. As a new day dawned on this brave new world, one thing was certain: humanity's story among the stars was just beginning. The next chapter promised to be the most exciting yet, a tale of exploration, diplomacy, and the ongoing quest to understand humanity's place in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. The universe, vast and mysterious, awaited, and Earth, no longer a solitary blue marble, but a shining beacon of cosmic potential, was ready to answer its call. As our story concludes, we leave Earth poised on the brink of a new cosmic age. The challenges overcome and the wonders discovered are but a prelude to the adventures that lie ahead. Humanity, once confined to a single world, now stands ready to take its place among the stars, armed with ancient wisdom, new alliances, and an unquenchable spirit of exploration. What marvels will they uncover? What challenges will they face? The journey into this bold new frontier is just beginning, and the possibilities are as endless as the cosmos itself.